What's going on, guys? Welcome back. So on this episode we're going to be doing something different. I'm going to cover my Starlink. Yes, it's not a game, but it does affect my gaming and my channel. So this is my Starlink dish. It gets power and internet through the Ethernet cable. So this cable came with it. Well, actually it came with a 75 foot. I bought a 150 foot, but the same thing. It's one cable, hooks right up into it. This gives it power and internet. The cable, I have it buried, and if you look, there's where it's buried. Goes up, down, and around. Now I'm going to talk about what I did with this cable. So again, this is the dish, this is the cable, and it is buried, so just hang tight. Let me show you. All right, guys, so my dish went up against my barn and it's buried right here. It went this way, my Ethernet cord. So again, if you look, there's my dish, and went down, it went around, went up this way. And it is April, so I'm sorry my lawn needs picked up. I just got done mowing and weed whacking, but there's still stuff for me to do. So I came along the backside of my barn, and then I have a hole here I have plugged. They used to have a heater in here, whoever had this house before me. So I plugged the hole with whatever a sheet that I could find, so squirrels and stuff didn't get in there. But it goes around, it comes down, it goes up in there. So the reason that I ran it from the dish down there, there's the dish, and I came up and down around and into my barn, is because there's not enough cord for me to run it into my house. So that's my house back there, and you only have 75 foot cord that comes with the satellite. So I purchased on Amazon a 150 foot cord. After 150 feet, you will lose speed and packet loss, things like that. So you don't want to go over 150 feet. But there's a tip I can give you guys. So if you're like me, let me show you what I did. All right, so it's coming in. Again, I have it covered up so rodents don't come in. But anyway, so it's coming from that hole. It's going down here, and it's going into the Starlink router in my garage. So again, here's the Starlink router. The cable is going from here, goes in the back. I have a power cable, I have it plugged in, and then I have another cable right here, this white one, and it's going from the router back out that hole. Now, let me show you why I have a second cable. All right, so we're back out here. It's coming, the white cable is coming out. It's going down into the ground. I have it going this way, underground, comes around my house, and goes into my basement. Now, I had this, whoever owned the house before me, I don't know what was going in here, but they had a hole here and it goes into my basement. So that cord goes from my garage all the way into my house, okay? And that's another 150 foot. So I'm up to 300 feet now. And we're gonna talk about why I did that. So you don't wanna go past 150 feet, but if you can connect to your router that came with Starlink, and then go from that router to, let's just say, another router, you don't lose any connection because your cable isn't over 150 feet. It's 150 foot and then it's connected, and then you run another 150 foot from that modem or router to another router. So let me show you how I have that hooked up. All right, coming into my house, I have this. It came with my Starlink. There was a deal. You got Starlink and you got a mesh router, which is this thing. So I have Starlink outside that runs to my barn. And then from the Starlink router in the barn, that white cable went down into my basement. Here's the white cable, and it plugs into this mesh router. So the mesh router is literally direct line connected into my barn. So I have full speed. I didn't break the 150 foot rule. This gives me Wi-Fi. All my internet things run, no issues. And then if you look at the back of this, there's another spot right there, if you can see that, where you can connect another device, right? So I took this black cord right here, and let me show you where I took this to. Sorry, it's hard to see because it's dark down in my basement, but that black cord goes into this box. This box is a Ethernet splitter. So now this box right here is wired up to that white cord. So this has internet, and then anything I plug into it has direct internet, like my computers, desktops, TVs, whatever you plug into this box, will have direct line internet. So not Wi-Fi, it will be the fastest speed you can get. Now let me show you why I had to do all of this. All right, guys, so the reason I had to do all this stuff, there is my satellite way out there, right? The satellite goes the cable goes from the satellite into my pole barn, right? And then it goes from my pole barn all the way into my house, under the ground, into the house, and then up into the bedroom for the Wi-Fi router. And then the Wi-Fi router goes into the basement, into my Ethernet splitter. Why did I have to do all that? Well, I live out in the country. Look at this. Look at all these trees. My house is surrounded by trees. Now Starlink has to have a direct view of the sky, a clear view. Well, that is my only clear view of the sky. You come over here, all these trees are in the way. Now, one thing I want to say about this, check this out. So this is my back lawn, right? All these trees. Now I have a back lawn right here, right? Sorry if it's windy. It looks like that's got some room, right? I can put a satellite there. Well, Starlink, I will say, is very sensitive. So I tried down there. Those trees were in the way. I can't go over there, more trees. So that was my only spot. But again, it was so far away, it was more than 150 feet. So I had to find a midway point, and that was that barn. So I went from the barn to the house, if that makes sense. Connected to the router in the barn and connected to the router in the house, and then split it into my computer. So that's what I had to do. You can buy 150-foot cords on Amazon. They're not that much, like 70 bucks. And you only have to set this up once, guys. Once you set it up, you're good. All right, so hang on one second. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you an actual speed test. So I'm gonna click go. You can see it says SpaceX Starlink, and this is what speeds I get. Now, I will say, I tried this yesterday. We had a storm. The clouds were very dark. It was raining hard, and my speed was about 150. That's the lowest I've really seen it go. Typically, I get anywhere from, I'd say 150 to 300, but it just depends. So that's 152. Now, we're gonna test it one more time after this, and the reason, I literally just turned my computer on, so everything's starting up. And I don't know why, but one thing I will say about Starlink is when you do speed tests, I don't know if it's got to like start running or how that works, but like watch, my next one will be better. And I don't know if it's because it like, you know, the data gets moving or how that works, but typically when I do them twice in a row, I actually get my real speed. And when I download the stuff, I have no issues. So again, see what I mean? Like it went from 150 to 3, but it's kind of like a fluke. You have to run it twice to really get your speed. But I have no issues with this, guys. I'm a gamer. All I do is game, you know, I watch videos, I upload videos. Typically, I had DSL and I was getting 80 MB download, 10 MB upload. And with me uploading videos on YouTube 5 to 7 times a week, it would take about 2 hours to upload a video. I'm now down to about a half an hour because my upload speed is so much better. And we'll do one more, just so you, and this is no filter, guys. This is just what it's like. And everything's direct linked. So this is really kind of what my speeds are. And you know, I have TVs on upstairs and things like that. That's slowing it down. So this is just what my speeds average when I'm using Starlink. And I went from 80 MB download. I've had it up in the 400s. And this is on a weekend at 1:40 p.m. So it's busy hour. So this is phenomenal. So, and I know Starlink has multiple plans. They have a basic, a light, residential max. I am on the residential max. I don't have any obstructions where my satellite is, but I had to do all that work, right? And then when I download games, I mean, it's the same thing. It downloads so fast. And then you guys can enjoy the view with me. But anyway, you know, for 120 bucks a month for the residential max plan, that's what I pay. You can get Starlink, I think it's like 50 bucks, the other plans. But going from my $75 a month, 80 MB download, 10 MB upload speed from DSL, this was definitely a huge win for me, especially as a gamer, as a streamer, as a YouTube watcher, all that stuff. And the other thing is latency. I was really worried about latency. In Counter-Strike, all my games, you know, Counter-Strike is very critical to have good latency. I don't have any lag. I don't have any teleporting. It's usually very, very consistent. I've had Starlink for about 3 weeks. Everybody in my house uses it at the same time, no issues. And my latency is usually 20 to 40 ms. So very good latency, guys. So if you guys were hesitant about Starlink, it can be a pain to set up. Again, it can be a pain, but you only have to set it up once, guys. Set it up, do it the right way, and 150 foot may not work for you, but 300 feet like me, It was a little bit of work, but you know what? I did it all in one day. It works great, and it did change my life. So I wanted to get this out there for you guys that are out here and hesitant about it, gamers, streamers. Starlink is the way to go, guys. I'm very happy I did it. And if you guys are on the fence, let me know if this video helped you. And until next time, you guys stay safe out there. Peace.